using TradeZella just to recap my trades because for some strange reason I have not been recording live. So here is what has happened since Friday morning's trade. So Friday morning was a win, and that trade I actually did record. It was super quick. I think it was a 5 minute or less trade, which love it. I love me a quick trade, okay? Friday's setup was actually perfect. And then this trade is from Sunday night. So on Sunday night, I took a 5 minute supply zone, which is this one here, which initiated like this push down. So when price came up to this supply zone, actually, let me draw a box around it really quickly. So once price pushed up into this zone and then fell out of the zone, I entered in. So let me just go back. Why is it not going back? Okay, we'll just okay. And I'm gonna put this on the 1 minute just to kind of give us a little bit of a better picture. Okay, so this is the zone. Would show it on the okay. So here's the 5 minute zone. Wait, is that correct? Hmm. Okay, let me see. Let me see what I did here if I could figure it out. Okay, we fell out the zone. Yes, this is correct. Okay, we fell out the zone, pushed into the zone, and then I was expecting the price to fall back out of the zone here. So once they rejected, I entered in on this red candle. They rejected out and obviously just did not want to fall. So they ran back up, and here's where my exit was. So I'm guessing that that's where my automatic 30-point stop pulled me at. Realistically, I probably should have moved that stop above. It wouldn't even matter. I was gonna say I should have moved it right above this wick, but this red wick would have taken me out anyways. So that was negative 225 for that trade. And I took that trade around 8 o'clock. And then 10:30, I took another trade. And let me see if I can really fast forward. So, oh, too far. Okay, then for 10:30, this trade, let's see. I don't remember. This was a sell position. Why did I sell right here? Because of this demand? Most likely because of this demand right here. Or is this a buy position? Wait a minute. Oh, I hate that this does this. Okay, I want to look at it on no. I want to look at it on the 5 minute time frame. Okay, yes. Okay, that makes sense. But I want to look at it at 1 minute. And then, okay, whatever. So I marked out that demand zone, I mean, supply zone, and then price fell out the zone, and I got out here on that candle. But let me see, is that actually what prompted? Yes, okay, so that is correct. So 15 minute supply right here. We came up, we touched, and after we touched that supply zone, we fell out, and so I got in, got out. It was a sell position, not a buy position. I feel like this is a terrible recap. But okay, so basically I just ended up making up for the loss that day. Um, which I was satisfied with because for some reason Asia session counts as the next day. So technically I would be starting my Monday green. Not by much, but it was green. So that was Sunday night. And then on Monday I did two trades. I wonder why. Because I gave myself a rule of like if the first trade is a win, just leave it alone. Hmm. Oh, that's what happened. Okay, so I took a morning trade at 9 o'clock, and then that's Asia session trade. So on TradeZella they count it in the 24 hour span, but on Lucid they count it differently. So Monday morning was what? Along. Let's see what happened on Monday morning. Monday morning, this was 9:50. Okay, let me see. Let's go to the 15-minute. It was a long. The 15-minute demand zone is here. I wonder if that's the demand zone that I took though. Okay. Press play. I'll do it on the 5 minute. Oh, I did. So I'm surprised. I'm surprised I did that. When it comes to morning session at this point, I'm like, so when I first started trading, I was kind of taught that like if price falls through your zone, that it invalidates the zone and you should probably not take it. But through trading just on my own and especially during the crazy New York session because they literally do whatever they want now, I'm learning that it doesn't matter as much. So we fell through the zone, and then I entered here when we pushed up out the zone, and I exited at kind of sort of at the top of this wick of the next candle. So that was probably my 50 points. Pretty sure that I just put my automatic stop on, and then it stopped me out at 307. So cool. Nice trade for the morning. And then let's see the night sessions trade. As of recently, I've really been loving the 15-minute supply or demand, which is most likely what I took. So for this, we have to fast forward. What time is it? 8:30? Okay, this is 8:15. Now looking at 8:15, this was pretty sure that this was a short position. So I am guessing that I took this 15-minute here and I'll turn it red. Pretty sure I took this 15-minute supply here, which it actually is a little bit lower. Okay, and let me put this on the 5 minute. Okay, now came up into the zone, began to push out the zone. Yeah, so we came up into the supply zone. As we fell out of the supply zone, I got in here, got out down here. I wonder why it's, oh, maybe they didn't give me my full 50. I'm gonna go ahead and assume because I don't remember, but I'm gonna go ahead and assume that on this night I probably got in and just got out before they hit my 50 points, probably most likely out of fear. because it looks like I secured contracts. I know what happened. So I secured contracts here at this lower green arrow, and then I placed my stop loss at the top of this wick here on this candle at the top of that wick. Let me make it bigger. Pretty sure I secured two contracts here because typically I trade with three. So pretty sure I secured two contracts here, and then here I placed my automatic stop. And when it pulled back, it took me out the trade. Had I not put my automatic stop there, I would have made out lovely with a runner. But it is what it is. The positive 183, I was more than happy to take because any green day is better than a red day. So that was Monday, and then let's see. So the 183 was last night, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 183 was the one last night. So, and then today was not terrible, but today did not go as great as it should have been. Today should have been me passing my eval, but I'm just gonna speak about what happened because I don't feel like doing the whole replay thing. So, first, okay, so market ran up all crazy this morning, but my bias was bearish this morning. So let me open up the chart. So this morning, after they ran up, they began to fall out of a 15-minute supply zone. And my plan was to take a sell position as it fell out of the 15-minute supply zone. But after they like did this crazy run up, I just wasn't comfortable taking it. Wait, this is the 15-minute. Where is the supply zone? Is this the supply zone? Okay, come on. Why would it do that? I wonder if this is the supply zone that I took here. Because this is the 15-minute. Okay. So, all right, 15-minute opens. They run up all crazy like that. They came back down. Yeah. Okay, so okay. So then that couldn't have been correct. Okay. It's so hard for me to remember what I did because literally once I'm done trading and I close this laptop, that's it. So actually it was this push because of all this consolidation, I just wasn't really too comfortable looking at or considering any of this. So after this push down, I think I took either this 15-minute. Why? I'm looking at the 5-minute. Hold on, let me go to the 15-minute. Okay, here we go. Right. Okay, so this is the original 15-minute supply that I drew. Then let me go down to the 5-minute. Right. Okay, so this was the original 15-minute that I drew. We obviously pushed all the way up here, and then the plan should have been to get in as soon as we fell out of this supply zone. This would have been a lovely play. One trade, I would have been done. I would have made my eval goal. Everything would have been a-okay. But I was scared. So I didn't take it after they like ran up all aggressively, they fell just as aggressively and I just wasn't sure like how far they were going to fall. So when they fell out the zone, I did not take this play, which I should have. But what I did was I said, okay, we're falling out this zone, and there was still a very aggressive push down. So I said, okay, they must be going for this gap fill here. So, assuming that they were going for this gap fill, I got in and um it did not go in my favor. It did not go in my favor. So we fell out the zone. We looked like we were going for the gap fill, but this candle rejected and then just as quickly as it rejected, it turned around. So, but I have my automatic stop on. So it hit my automatic 30-point stop, and then it turned around and of course went in my direction. So I'm like, okay, be patient, just wait. I waited patiently, and it actually didn't even take long, but I waited and loading. Dang, I wish it didn't erase my zone, because it was literally the same zone all morning. Okay, this is a 15-minute, and this is the supply. I'm on laptop. Okay, this was the zone. So we pushed up into the zone, and for the first trade, it did not play out well because this candle rejected. This candle rejected, took me out with my automatic stop. So then I waited patiently, and price came back into this zone. Let me try to make this a little bigger. So price came back into this zone, and as it was falling out, I entered here as it was falling out. Um, of course, as it was falling out, and then okay. So as price was falling, I closed so I took this trade I took with three contracts. When we got down here, I closed out two contracts and put my stop here at break even. The problem is that I did not edit my stop. So my stop was for three contracts. So of course, price pulls back, hits my stop, takes me out, but also buys two contracts. Oh, I was so sad about this. So I bought two contracts, and those two contracts started to go against me. Those two buy contracts started to go against me here, and I'm like, okay, let me just close them before it gets any worse, because I think when like it bought the contracts and then it went negative, and it went negative at most, I think it was like negative $100. Then when I closed the two contracts, pretty sure that that was like plus 200. So they've already eaten up half of my profits. I tried to hold for a little while to see if it would go back up, go green, or what have you. But I'm like, I'm not even going to sit through this. Let me just close it while I can. I closed it at like negative $60. But of course, price moved so quickly. I think it ended up being like negative 80 or something like that. So that trade ended up being like plus 150, which is not bad, just not great. And I wanted to make up for my morning loss. Now, for discipline, I rated myself at like a 6 for today, because all of that made me want to revenge trade. Like, no, I'm trying to get to my goal, so I need to at least make back what I lost. So I said, okay, I'm gonna wait for a setup, but typically two losses, which I think that the second trade could kind of count for a loss. After two losses, my rule is to close the laptop and just leave it alone. So didn't really follow my rules today, but waited for another setup, and luckily it set up perfectly. So price once again came up into this same supply, and when price fell out here, I entered in and I rode the train all the way down here. And I did close this trade early. I think it got to like, I want to say like on the screen, I probably saw like 310, and I closed it there, but it ended up being plus 276 just because of how fast price was moving. And I'm like, you know what? I'm okay with that. I am about $100 away from passing my eval, and I am going to be trading tonight. So Hopefully all goes well. And by tomorrow morning, I will be trading with well, technically, I guess it would technically be Thursday morning I would be trading with a live account because even if I pass the $100 with tonight's session, Lucid counts the night session. They're gonna count the night session as a Wednesday. So I don't think that it would like move. I don't know, but I don't think that it would move to a funded account until Thursday morning, but or Wednesday night. I don't know. We'll see how that works out. But regardless, hopefully tonight goes well and we have another win and I will pass my eval tonight. Now, the plan from here, which I'm so excited about because finally it feels like I'm going to be actually making money and not just playing around. But once we move to funded, I also have another Lucid account ready to go. Obviously, I have to pass the eval on that one, but I'm going to sync the trades. I'm going to use Trade Syncer to copy trade and hopefully get the second account passed as well. And once I start taking out my once I'm eligible for payouts, I'm gonna put that into my live account and hopefully I can copy trade that as well. And hopefully it all works out. So I'm just happy that this month is no longer red. Like this month it was red. It was so ugly. Let me see. Look at this. Negative 359. Negative 489. And then we had our first green week. This is my first green week all month. Last month was even worse. The month before that, it was a bloodbath. Literally, like this whole thing was just red with maybe like one green here, one green there. Like it was so bad. But we are green. We are officially green for the month, and that makes me happy. Hopefully the rest of this will also be green. So, yeah, that's that. And tonight I am going to be live trading, so